Let's take you now to the hills of West Rural St. Andrew, where our reporter Sandy Williams made the treacherous trek to two communities where residents have for decades been complaining about bad roads. But it appears it could be years before the roads will be fixed, as funding is a major challenge.
This is a section of the road in Lacey District, Lawrence Tavern, West Rural St. Andrew. It could easily be mistaken for a dry riverbed. Traversing the area is a task for both motorists and pedestrians. Residents say whenever it rains, sections of the road would break away, as has been the case in this area.
It is terrible. Terrible, as you can see. As you can see here, see it? Right? It's very terrible. The water comes from straight up the road, comes straight down. Because when the former member of parliament was here, they did some resurfacing. And during the resurfacing, they need to put back the drainage. So what did the water did come from straight up the top, come straight down.
The deteriorated road surface is a shadow of its former state, punctuated with massive potholes along the entire stretch. The people say it's in need of urgent attention.
The residents of Lacey were asking the local authority if they could step in and render some assistance, because this community really needs it. This is the bypass road that's always used for traversing whenever the main road is blocked.
From one treacherous route in Lacey District to another in Doncaster, West Rural St. Andrew, already residents have started to feel the impacts of the 2021 hurricane season with last weekend's heavy rains. Residents told us each time it rains, this section of the roadway is impassable.
Traversing the Doncaster Road, also in Lawrence Tavern, is equally disastrous and an eyesore for residents. Residents tell us it has been in this state for more than 20 years. They are now at their wits' end.
We're tired right now. We need the road. We need it. Because sooner or later, you see around there soon tear away. Plus, we fix out here, sir. We fix it the other day. So that the road tear right across. We're there. Broke down. Nothing bicycle could have passed here. We get dumb and full up around there. So that's why you see something can drive there.
Mindful of the poor road condition, Councillor for the Lawrence Tavern Division, John Myers, pointed to challenges.
If we don't do something before the rainy season started, it will be catastrophic, dangerous for the people. Some of them can't park. They have to park out of the main and they have to park down at the bottom. Lacey need a overall of a rehab. Even Doncaster need rehab. Most of the road them in the community, most of the road in Lawrence Tavern Division. When we do piece and we can't get to do the other piece because it lack of funding.
Efforts made to get a comment from Member of Parliament for West Rural St. Andrew, Juliet Cuthbert Flynn, proved unsuccessful. Sandy Williams, TVJ News.
And sticking with road infrastructure, amidst the worsening conditions of asphalt roads across the island, Member of Parliament for Central Manchester, Audley Shaw, is leading a charge for the government to build more concrete roads in the country. Mr. Shaw argues the frequency of road repairs island-wide has become a menace for members of Parliament. Kalisha Williams has that story.
It's been said that concrete roads are the future, and with the current state of local asphalt roads, there is a clear indication that an alternative is needed. Member of Parliament for North East Manchester Audley Shaw says he supports concrete roads as alternative and pointed to the poor condition of some farm roads in the island as proof that unreliable roads made from asphalt continue to cost the country.
We have to think out of the box. If one thing don't work, we have to try something else. Farm roads in Jamaica, we have to work with the cement company to use concrete to help our small farmers to keep their roads together.
As he toured this newly built concrete road in Denham Farm, Manchester, Mr. Shaw stressed some of the challenges with asphalt roads in the country.
After my 28 years as MP, we put in some asphalt on the road. Sometimes God knows how much asphalt they put. Sometimes maybe 1 inch, maybe ½ inch. And as a little rain fall, Potholes, potholes, potholes.
There are now 3 communities in Manchester and several others across the island with concrete roads. However, one of the drawbacks in building more concrete roads in Jamaica is the cost. The government has repeatedly explained that asphalt roads are cheaper.
Saying we're going to stop using asphalt, but I'm saying we are going to begin to embrace the technology of cement concrete road.
The 600-meter Denham Farm concrete road project costs $13 million and is said to benefit over 50 farmers in the community. Kalisha Williams, TVJ News.
To other news now, the local wedding industry is bouncing back from its pandemic problems. We recently reached out to key players in the sector who told us the sector is bouncing back with more optimism. The details in this report.
Stakeholders in the wedding industry are breathing easier as they approach the peak of the wedding season. It follows this statement by Prime Minister Andrew Holness in the House of Parliament recently.
Madam Speaker, weddings, the cap on the number of persons permitted at a marriage ceremony will be increased from 15 to 50.
Last year, many couples were forced to postpone or even cancel their special day. But now wedding planners can deliver some good news. President of the Jamaica Wedding Professionals Association, Ophelia McKnight, says with the changes, there are happier brides.
So we have brides who are breathing a sigh of relief all over the world. We have planners that are a lot less stressed because now we're able to not just help our clients to complete their weddings, but also it allows us to reopen our books again.
However, there are calls for the government to increase the guest limit to over 50. Francine Foster has been planning weddings for more than 10 years.
We are willing to go through all of the protocols given to the hotels because my clients are seeing the hotels have their weddings. Some of them are more than 50, some of them are 200, and we're asking please. We're asking kindly, we're not demonstrating. We're asking please to allow us to have these weddings. We are willing and ready to use all the protocols that the hotels are using. We just need to get the weddings out of the system.
Gerding Mayers of Rose Hall Development wants the government to give consideration to outdoor spaces as options for weddings.
Our venues facilitate not just weddings but also events. We've hosted international events, Jazz and Blues Festival, so many international festivals that have been hosted in our spaces safely. The Aqueduct is a very popular space for that.
But for now, these wedding planners are just happy that business is picking up once again. Sandy Williams, TVJ News.
We now take a look at what's happening in the financial world. Here's Codian Barrett with a Business Minute.
In business news, in response to findings that pension savings on the stock market declined in 2020 due to the pandemic, Director of the Pension Industry Association of Jamaica, Marilyn James, says pensioners should not worry. She says even though the stock market lost over 20% of its value, the size of the asset in the pension industry reduced by 5%, which shows that diversification can offset any negative movement.
Over the last 5 years, the average assets in the industry increased by over 11%. So what I would say is not to focus just only on the contraction in 2020, but also the growth, or if there was growth in the size of the assets over a longer time period.
Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett says Jamaica needs to get on board with the idea of having a vaccination passport. He says it will enable seamless travel.
And we're looking for harmonization of protocols so that there can be an ease with which we operate and each can understand what is required to move around from one destination to the other.
And coming up in the Business Day this evening, we take a look at the future of the BPO industry. That's it for the Business Minute. I'm Codian Barrett.
We now head to a quick break, but when we return, Renardo Brown will have your sports report.
Welcome back. It's now time for your Midday Sports. Reggae Boys head coach Theodore Whitmore says he's fully aware that some members from the recent squad who made the trip to Japan may not be available for the upcoming CONCACAF Gold Cup campaign. News broke last week that some England-based players were having difficulties attaining their Jamaican passport, but Whitmore says he's aware of the effects going into the tournament.
Going into the Gold Cup now, there's a number of factors going into the Gold Cup in terms of match readiness, the camaraderie of the team, the chemistry of the team. So we have to take all of these into consideration.
Jamaica's Gold Cup campaign begins on July 12 against Suriname in Group C in Florida. Christian Eriksen says he's fine under the circumstances and posted a picture from his hospital bed with a thumbs up as he made his first comment since suffering a cardiac arrest. The Denmark midfielder collapsed in Saturday's game with Finland and had to be resuscitated on the pitch. Eriksen has thanked fans from around the world for their support. The Inter Milan playmaker is now in a stable condition in a Copenhagen hospital. 14-time winners Argentina were held to a 1-1 draw with Chile in their opening game of the Copa America in Brazil on Monday. Lionel Messi gave the Argentines the lead in the 33rd minute before Eduardo Vargas equalized for Chile in the 57th minute. In the other Group A encounter, Paraguay defeated Bolivia by 3-1. The competition continues on Thursday with 2 fixtures. Trae Young scored 25 points as the Atlanta Hawks held on to win a 103-100 at home to the Philadelphia 76ers in the second round of the NBA playoffs. Monday's win leveled their best-of-7 Eastern Conference semifinal series at 2-2. The Western Conference semifinal between the Los Angeles Clippers and the Utah Jazz is also leveled at 2-2 after Kawhi Leonard and Paul George both scored 31 points to help the Clippers beat the top seeds 118-104. Marcus Morris scored 22 of his 24 points during a first half in which the LA side, who lost the first 2 games of the series, led by as many as 29 points at one stage. July 29 to August 7 has been set as the date for the women's cricket tournament at the 2022 Commonwealth Games in Birmingham. The Commonwealth Games Federation has announced that all games will be played at the Edgbaston Cricket Ground. England, Australia, India, New Zealand, South Africa and Pakistan are all due to compete in the tournament. A qualifier will be used to determine the Caribbean representative in the competition. This will be the first time cricket will be played at the Commonwealth Games since 1998. And finally, Great Britain athletes may have to quarantine for 6 days on arrival in Tokyo before the Olympic Games. They may not be allowed to leave their official Games hotel rooms during that time, causing uncertainty about fitness and athlete preparation. The United Kingdom was last week added to the Japan's red travel list because of rising cases of the Delta variant. Tokyo 2020 have said no exceptions will be made for athletes, but Team GB say they hope to resolve the situation. And that's it for your Midday Sports. I'm Renardo Brown. Giovanni, it's back over to you.
Thanks so much, Renardo. And that's how we end the Midday News here. Join us at 7 for Primetime News. On behalf of the news, sports and production teams, have a good afternoon.